Strela. Who were the one who suggested that function? Neither of us is too sure why Strelok lost his memories and woke up with an order to essentially kill himself, but Doc's also got a hot tip about the center of the zone. This guy, the Wish Granter, isn't exactly what everyone thinks it is. Instead of rewarding stalkers by granting their wishes, it's used as a distraction to keep them from finding the truth at the heart of the zone. So we head off on our way to investigate,
There are
only
stairs
now that
under
we've
the
turned off
statue.
the zone's self-defense system as
It was open the last time I was here.
Freedom, and a hell of a lot of
What do we do?
stalkers, all of
We'll figure something out.
So we're not really going to have to dodge the dangers of the zone.
There's more
There's
here
also
than
a
meets the
faction
eye.
moreover who gets to enter the sarcophagus first. Oh, and by the way, we are going to cover the zone's factions in a bit, so don't feel too bad if you're a little lost by some of the terminology here. After battling through a never-ending supply of brainwashed monolith fighters, we eventually make our way to the very center of the CNPP, and we've got two paths ahead of us. And we have not heeded our buddy's words and not checked a certain area containing a decoder that would allow us to get deeper into the power plant. Our only option would be taking our chances with Wish Granter. But like you said, it's not what it seems. It's more of a monkey's paw sort of situation where you think you're getting what you want, but it ends up being some kind of twisted version of that wish. In reality, the Wish Granter is a ploy set up by the people behind the zone, and its purpose is to brainwash anyone who makes it this far. Most of the time, these brainwashed stalkers either return as zombies, members of Monolith, or sometimes it's something else we'll talk about later.
Must be
but no
missing
matter how
something.
they end up, the zone itself expands a little every time someone gets to the Wish Granter. However, if you did happen to come across the aforementioned decoder, you can see the game's real ending, which has Strelok coming across the real reason behind the zone's existence. Alright, so strap in, this is gonna get a little weird. Unfortunately, we made a mistake. Our interference spawned the zone. We're told by a hologram calling itself C Consciousness that the zone is not the result of any nuclear meltdown, at least not directly. After the CNPP went critical in the 80s, a bunch of Soviet scientists saw the resulting exclusion zone as a great spot to conduct what some might call ethically questionable research. In the process of trying to find the human mind's untapped potential, they discovered what they like to call the noosphere, a sort of energy grid that surrounds the Earth and acts as a metaphysical and psychological connection between every mind on Earth. At the time, the scientists really didn't know a lot about it, but they hypothesized that it could be tampered with. And since it somehow connects everyone together, their original goal was to combine some of the smartest minds on Earth into this collective consciousness with the goal of removing negative emotions from the noosphere, like hatred or anger. Sadly, their little humanitarian aid idea went horribly wrong, and their tampering is actually what formed the zone. So it's not nuclear reactions causing these mutations and horrible conditions, but instead a crack or tear that is formed in what is essentially our fabric of reality. After finding out about the zone's true origins, we're told that stalkers who make it this far are typically brainwashed and used as sort of sleeper agents, a process that has been being quite clean mentally speaking and secretly inserted around the zone. Once they're activated, they'll start immediately working towards whatever goal they've been given by C Consciousness, as if it was their own idea. Most of the time, this has to do with other stalkers.
Let's go.
To the center, but sometimes there are even orders to find and kill the ones that already made it through. Only for some reason there was a bit of a clerical error, and Strelok was assigned the task of finding and killing himself. After these two giant bombs are dropped on us, we have two choices. Either join C Consciousness and aid in their fight to not only keep the zone's real origin secret, but also perpetuate its existence. You could go look at Caveman and put hot lead through everything that started this messed up situation in the first place. In the end, choose the more gun-centric route.
Elena, there's a switch on these statues that shuts them off.
What you've done is being very gross. Oh, and by the way, I love it so much that the stalker film. Very well done. Alright, so there's definitely a lot to unpack here, but I'm going to try to keep things related to the spoiler stuff for now.
This is gonna get a little bit dicey.
So, personally,
We don't have time for this crap.
Hate this ending sequence. On one hand, I thought it was actually pretty cool finding out why Strelok did this assassination mission. Now, I know a lot of people complain that we saw them coming a mile away, and maybe I'm some kind of idiot, and I absolutely didn't. So that's one revelation I thought was really well done.
This is gonna stop me.
Oh,
Just keep moving.
My thoughts exactly.
together as far as
Wouldn't want to miss out on all the fun.
just to sort of really enjoy the thought that this was all due to that radiation to me like this real-world fantasy. They can have these wonderful benefits and this amazing absolute downside. I really like thinking that mutations and anomalies were caused by radiation, interactive developments, Earth, weather, biology, energy, radiation. The existence of this noosphere isn't terrible to our mind, in my opinion. It just feels like the focus thing that I like, and something that is so far beyond now. The keyword there being relative. Now it's an enjoy this ending, and I have since at first I will say it wasn't I was looking at it, maybe an explanation, saw scientists, so it became inspiring to conceal the fact that the sort of it was still here. Even though I personally connection, I still find this it answered a lot of the questions.
Okay, let's go.
But those very few ones that just sort of left me on the cliffhanger of, well, I guess we'll find out one day whether or not you did the right thing. And I'd like to get into that a little bit more, but I think we should cover the others first.
Thanks, bro. It really helped me.
Alright, so without spoiling the events of the ending, I'll say that things do take a turn for the more strange, and while I don't like it very much, it's still a really good ending. Now, a lot of people tend to criticize Shadow of Chernobyl for how sparsely the story told out there, and while they're not wrong, this is a slow burning story that never bothered me for two reasons. Number one, I very much used the small piece of the story being given out between the long swaths of gameplay, so I never had an issue with that. But more than anything, you're not here to keep the storyline. Sure, it is awesome finding out who Strelok is and how the zone got to be how it is. The draw should just be the zone itself. Stalker SOC is a case study in environmental storytelling, since you often won't get answers for why a helicopter went down where it did, how the hell a bloodsucker did use a single to make the draw from stalkers. You sort of have to fill in a lot of points with your imagination. As I stroll through this irradiated no man's land, my brain keeps struggling to unravel these tiny little mysteries I come across, and for me, that's what makes up most of Stalker's story. It's not what the game tells you outright in plain English or Russian for that matter. It's those thousands and thousands of tiny little unanswered questions, like, I wonder what this building is before the meltdown. Why do some humans fight each other but others don't? The zone serves as a canvas for this great tale, but your mind's going to be running most of that show. I think that's what makes the game so special to me. Normally I tend to steer toward your more than narratives. The ones that have a cool story to tell and gets you to the ending, very little variation. And to be fair, if you stay on the beaten path, that is what Shadow of Chernobyl does. If that's what you're more interested in, that's what you can focus on. But for those of you who, like me, enjoy being thrown into a foreign world and jump to conclusions as to very much you are, this is likely going to be the very best video game you can hands on. And to be very clear, it's not like the included story isn't good. I really do like it a lot.
Toll the 5 bells loud and clear.
That's a good thing.
Thus the true path shall appear.
Nothing like a good centuries-old
There's
riddle.
a small but really
I have to
awesome
figure it
story
out.
here, having a character, his actions before he lost his memory, and the origins of this hostile patch of land. But it does feel like a comparison to the myriad of larger stories being told all around you. For example, finding out why the Dark Strelok is very fun, but maybe take a few minutes and start researching the zone's many factions. Talk to other people at camp or members of the clans, and I assure you, you'll find a lot of us well aware. You got unique, a strict military outfit that sees the zone as a dangerous foe that needs to be destroyed. And there's freedom, a diametrically opposed group that sees the zone not only as a airfield for scientific research, but also as a place where they can be free. Then, of course, you've got Monolith, a religious cult that believes the Wish Granter in the center of the zone is the alien artifact for the worship. These guys can flip themselves into a trance and tend to feel no pain or fear nothing. Affecting the center of the zone from mankind. You see what I'm talking about? You can pick any one of these groups and find hours worth of work just in the game itself. Wait, what God forbid me get interested about this start reading the big things then. Listen, the core story here scratches every itch I have, but just schooling so many different landscapes. I can find a million small interests that match or even rival how much I like the stage story. All I have to do is just look around for a little bit. This location, how this world is what should draw you to the Stalker. If you're looking for the game to answer all the questions, you will definitely be leaving unfulfilled. But if you're instead looking for the game world so viscerally immersive, you might find yourself eyeballing pricing for airline tickets to Ukraine and failed power plant. May I please introduce you to the greatest video game ever made? Sure, after your first launch, you might find yourself like a the story. If you spend even a second outside of that single narrative, you will find an infinite source of interest all around you. On the negative end, aside from the scam cutscenes, every piece of information in the game is displayed on the dialogue screens, but I doubt very much it so see your
That's all of them.
There are certain things
I feel bad shooting antiques.
flaws or benefits at one point, but eventually all of this stuff just sort of becomes synonymous with Stalker's brand and how it does what it does. So I know I might have confused you a bit with my hand right here, but you gotta forgive me. I love this series and the world it's set in. It's the same thing what this game has to offer in terms of sheer immersion in making these videos. Making a 10-hour long rant per
Did you hear that?
So my thoughts are going to be a little scattered.
I hope it was a door. Come on.
I guts on everything I love here, but on the other, I worry that my experience with these works of art would be so deeply personal that I could never really translate it to you guys in a way that's not only informative but easy to consume. It's sort of like a mad dash to figure out what is and is not important enough to put into this script. As an example, is it crucial for this video to include that you can use bullets to find anomalies just like a main character in the Stalker film? These are the things I'm wrestling with. And it's a little hard to figure out what is and is not something you guys need to know or something I just want to gush about. So let's take a second and simplify things. Stalker Shadow has a great story that some people do complain that there's not enough of it, but for me, it's perfect. However, if you are worried that a few cutscenes are going to cut it for you, trust me, there is a definite strong story for contemporary Stalker games. Parallel each other, which includes experiences. One of them, more traditional story, small mysteries.
Look out for a scout! Stuff like basic gameplay that you can see in the life much like the don't panic, people. Take care of this. Violence itself, so you don't worry about it. Good sights and oh, man. You find that these items, but give me see, Stalker runs like a conservative. There's a lot of written dialogue. That
We have to do something! People are dying! Everyone, run!
while shops will there's a chance of stalking or supply. Most of them get to start but then stalker may have something really but basically corpse looting will be how you come across 75% of the gear you end up using. The rest is made up of hidden stashes. Stalkers, not being the most trusting types, often hide their plunder in unassuming locations in the hopes of coming back and cashing in on their hard work when they're not under fire or being chased by humans. You can get these coordinates by checking down bodies and getting their info off of PDAs. Sadly, you'll need to have come across the actual stash location before you can find anything inside the stash, so it's not a bad idea to keep some of the obvious hiding spots in mind as you come across them. So what's stopping you from going out, clearing every cache, and winning the in-game economy? Well, a little burden called gravity. Stalker limits how much you can carry around with a relatively constant weight.
All right, ready?
Carry around 50 kilograms with
Yeah.
anything over that standard. Once you get to 60 or so kilograms, you stop being able to altogether. So you're going to need to be taking the limit because that weight limit will dictate nearly everything you do in the game. There's a quality over quantity issue to watch out for as well. When you find weapons on dead stalkers, you
Wish I believed God were looking out for us right now.
Each
But I think we're on
piece
our
of
own.
armor in the game has a condition meter, and the more it sees used, the more that will degrade. Now, not only will guns and armor net you less at shops if their condition is degraded, but also when that not working anymore. More armor, it will lose some of its effectiveness, meaning relevant stat boosts go down, and with guns, they can jam at crucial points. And it may not seem like too big of a deal to just manually reload 3 rounds into a fresh magazine, but in the middle of a dense firefight, one of these weapons is going to be heavy. So you might be wondering, well, what can we do about this problem? And that's a really easy answer because there's nothing you really can do, at least not officially speaking. The developers did intend to include a pure dialogue option for some NPCs, but it never got around to fully implementing it. Most of the code is in place, but they just didn't have time to finish it. So with guns, you'll need to constantly be looking for a newer model. And with armor, outside of interesting glitch,
I won't be able to force this one open.
certain artifacts won't be damaged by certain anomalies. You're just going to have to buy a replacement at some point. This can sort of be an issue on a vanilla run of SOC, but it's a feature that's easily modded back into the game. And trust me, we'll talk mods in a bit, but just know that if you plan on playing the game totally stock, this whole thing will get totally doable. But I think the most important thing to mention is that Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl is a game that takes a little bit of time to really feel good. When you start a new game, those packages that are released in imagine. As you progress, you'll notice early game guns are horribly inaccurate and do shit for damage. In fact, part of the fun of starting a new game, in my opinion, is trying to guess how long it will be until you come across a rifle with scopes so you can really start enjoying the combat. For me, this is a game where slow-controlled shots made over a great distance are going to be way more effective than long auto-fire bursts made at close range. Not only is this because ammo is always going to be an issue no matter where you are, but because by the mid-game, all the people you'll be shooting at will likely be
You got it.
some killer gear too. So
Fall
it
back.
might take
You
6
got it.
shots to the chest to
Good
accomplish
work.
it easily be handled with a single silent shot before anyone even knows you're there. So once
Thanks
again,
for
don't
that.
look at this thinking you'll be playing your average FPS. This is a game that rewards accuracy, distance, good cover, and planning ahead, but with sheer willingness to trade large amounts of ammo efficiently. Of course, if you want to do well in Stalker, you might